Hi, I just wanted to give a small video on the new report tool that we're going to be using for all of our mock surveys. As you know, Joint Commission is implementing January 1, 2017, the new SAFER matrix. We had to modify our tool to allow us to score using the SAFER matrix methodology. As you know, Joint Commission is scoring findings as high risk if they meet some criteria. One, if there's a pattern where the finding was widespread, or if the particular observation is something that has a high likelihood of harming a staff member, a patient, or a visitor. So using that methodology in our head, we're going to be assigning risk to the observations we make while on site. You'll all have received an email at this point with two versions of the tool, the Mac version and the PC version. Open the one appropriate to you by double clicking on it. Remember to enable macros. PCs have a different way of doing this, but enable macros when you open it, otherwise nothing works. First thing you want to do as a reminder is save this to your desktop or some other location so that you can use it over and over and you don't actually mess with the actual report template. There are two things you'll notice that are different. We've got counting differences. We're still going to count the standards that are not compliant and the EPs that are not compliant, but now we have a little view of a dashboard that says how many observations are high risk or immediate threat, how many are assigned to a low or medium risk, and how many are just consultative, things that we wouldn't score out or the Joint Commission might not score it out, but we want to put it in a report and put something in writing, let them know about this particular thought or observation. How are we going to score? Same way as before. My first observation is I know it had to do with pain reassessment. I'm going to search by word. We have two ways of searching now, either by element of performance, a word, or by a chapter. I'm searching by word first. It brings up every element of performance we have that has the word pain in it. So I'm going to put in my observation and I'm going to put in my finding and my recommendation. Notice here that it is going to default to a medium to low risk. This was a pain reassessment thing. I think medium to low risk is appropriate. I'm going to add the element of performance. Notice it comes up as yellow. My next one is an HR standard. I'm going to search by chapter, and it has something to do with orientation. So here I'm going to again put in my observation and recommendation and go on. We are starting to add observations. My next has to do with restraint. I find a restraint finding, and this one I believe is high enough risk, has a likelihood of hurting a patient, therefore I'm going to upscore it. To upscore it, I click on the drop down arrow, I just click on high risk and add this element performance. I'm going to add one other finding. It's a leadership recommendation. This one I actually don't think it would be scored, but I do want to make a note for leaders. It's a recommendation only, and I'm going to downscore it to consultative. It won't be counted as a finding out of compliance. At this point, I'm done with my report. I'm going to exit. You always have to click one of the buttons. You can't just click away. You can't hit the X. So I'm going to exit to get out of here, and I have a report. First thing you'll notice is it doesn't look nice. Findings and recommendations are on one row. There's actually macros that run when you save it, so do save it frequently, and you will find that the formatting gets better and some things run behind the scenes. You'll notice too that I've got my high as red, my medium as yellow, and the consultative are green. Let's say after talking with my colleagues, I really think that this HR standard was problematic and I want to upscore it to a high risk. To upscore something, click on the actual yellow square. You will notice that you get a drop down arrow. Click on the arrow and it will again allow you to upscore it, and it will change the counting and it will change the color. and that's all you do. You can keep adding findings, you can modify as along the way. If you find that there is a particular standard you want to score that I didn't put in the tool, you can add it at this point. You can just type it in and type in the EP, type in the element of performance, type in your finding, etc. So that's it, and thank you very much.